At first glance, RailGods of Hysterra looks like your typical survival game, gathering resources, managing a base, and fending off monsters. But once you start playing, it quickly becomes clear that this game is actually a dungeon crawler with survival horror elements. Instead of settling down and surviving in one place, you're constantly moving, fighting, looting, and upgrading your living train. So how does this game actually play? Is it a great mix of survival and dungeon crawling? Or does it struggle to find its identity? Let's break it down. I'm sure you're wondering, what even is RailGods of Hysterra? This game is a co-op dungeon crawler set in a Lovecraftian post-apocalyptic world, where survival is more than just food and supplies. It's about holding on to your sanity and then using your insanity to upgrade your base. Rather than building a permanent base, you travel between zones on a monster train, stopping to scavenge, fight enemies, and collect loot before moving on. The game has a plentiful mix of combat, exploration, and resource management, with survival mechanics like hunger, crafting, and sanity management. So, it isn't awful, but it's definitely not balanced, especially when it comes to melee. Melee just isn't worth using. It leaves you way too open, and it's just not effective compared to ranged options. I ended up ignoring melee altogether, and ultimately just sticking to spells, because they're way more reliable in terms of DPS, and way more useful in actual fights. There's potential here. The pacing and feel of combat could work well, but right now, spellcasting just completely outshines melee, especially early on. If that gap gets closed later in development, combat could become a little bit more fun and a little more flexible. It feels like it's there for structure, but it's not really pulling much weight. Hunger doesn't matter, you almost never run out of food, and crafting, while necessary, feels like it just slows down progression. It's just kinda something you deal with between fighting mobs and leveling up your train. Inventory management also needs some love. There's no sorting, no crafting from storage. There's very small backpack space. It all kind of adds friction to things that should feel quick and satisfying. Even basic fixes like auto sorting would clean it up a lot. The train, though, kind of seems like the highlight. It's your base, your storage, your lifeline. It works. The train, always moving forward, gives the game a great flow, and expanding the train gives it just enough of that survival building feel, even if it's just a little basic. RailGods of Hysterra has a really cool foundation. It blends dungeon crawling, light survival, and cosmic horror in a way that feels different. And even though it's rough around the edges, it's still very easy to see the potential. Maybe the combat needs a little work, and some survival elements kind of feel thin, but the core idea, a train-based survival game in a Lovecraftian nightmare world, that's dope. If the devs keep pushing it forward, tightening up the combat, improving the UI, and making those survival systems more meaningful, this could be something really special. It's a demo, and it plays like one, but for what it is and what it's worth, it's already got me interested in seeing where it's gonna go next. With all that being said, I give the game about a 3 out of 5. If you liked the video, comment down below, and please consider subscribing. Thank you.